Hi everyone, so today we are talking all about the basics of color analysis. Now, if you are a complete beginner, then this video is going to be obviously very beginner friendly. And if you are old here, if you've been here for a while on my channel, then this may also be a video that you may enjoy because, as always, we're going to have some visual examples, and I think it's always fun to see how much of a difference color can make. And this is basically what the basics that I've learned from my experience researching color, making these videos on color, as well as, of course, working with my clients and doing color typings for them and their feedback and everything like that. And so I have distilled it down after I haven't made a video like this in a long time, and after having more experience and everything, I've distilled it down to really the very basics. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing is that why color analysis, right? And this is something that I think a lot of beginners ask is, color analysis has been trending for a while now. And sometimes I find people asking, well, is this like even real? I mean, does this even work, right? And some people, they don't know about color analysis, and they want to know if it's something that actually works or something that doesn't. And I personally found color analysis, I guess, over 10 years ago now. And as soon as I found out my colors, I was completely in love. Like, I was shocked. I was in love. I was just like, I can't believe this. And I can't believe that I didn't know about this. But I want to show you some examples, and not just share my own experience. I want to show you some examples of what color can sort of do to sort of motivate this video a little bit. In case that was one of the questions that you had, is this even like a real thing? I don't know. I mean, of course, I have a lot of videos on my channel that show it's definitely a real thing, so you can take a look at those. But so we have Julianne Moore. Okay, so Julianne Moore is cool toned. She is cool and bright, and here she's wearing a navy, and her skin looks relatively even toned, and it looks pretty good. It looks like pretty nice. And then here you can see she's wearing a warm color, that warm green, and her skin appears to be a bit more, it almost looks like really flat. It almost looks waxy or something. It looks a lot less even toned as well. And so this is the effect that you'll often see with color analysis and wearing your own colors. Something that I really have to stress here is that sometimes I see people talking about, especially in shorts or on TikTok, things like that, talking about that you don't need to wear your own undertones for makeup. Like, you don't need to wear a warm lip color if you're a warm undertone, and you don't need to wear a cool lip color if you're a cool undertone. This is true for makeup sometimes because you are wearing full coverage foundation, usually in a makeup look like that. And that's when it's not going to matter as much to wear your own colors. If you're going to wear full coverage foundation, it's okay that the color that you're wearing is not flattering to your skin tone. Do you see where I'm coming from? It's really about which colors are flattering to your skin tone when you're not wearing makeup. And so sometimes this idea that you can wear warm colors if you're cool, or cool colors if you're warm, especially in makeup, especially in a full makeup look, can sometimes confuse people into thinking that it's maybe not so straightforward, or maybe it's not always important or something. This is your answer. It's because if you wear full coverage makeup, then the imperfections in your skin will not show as much, so you can wear different colors. And that's what I often recommend, and that's why I call my system artistic license. Is if you like a certain color and you love wearing it, let's say you're a cool undertone and you want to wear yellow all the time, then you kind of know in the back of your mind, well, today if I wear yellow, I may want to wear a more full coverage makeup look. Or if I don't want to wear as much makeup today and I want for my skin to really glow, I may want to wear colors in my own palette. You see, so it's more about just being empowered with that knowledge and choosing for yourself what you want to do, and not being just like confused all the time about color. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, so you can see on the left, she looks a bit more flat. Her skin tone looks less even, and that color looks really heavy on her. And on the right, her skin tone looks more even her skin tone looks less even on the left. I'm sorry if I misspoke. Her skin tone looks less even on the left and more even on the right. That's because she's a cool-toned person. And so we have another example. Oprah Winfrey is warm-toned. And so she's very warm. She's warm and bright. And so you can see on the left how that cool and muted color just drags her down so much. And somehow it's like her skin looks strangely less warm in that color. The weirdest things can happen, you guys, when you don't wear your own colors, because sometimes a very warm undertone like Oprah Winfrey can look yellow in an unflattering way in these certain colors, in her like so-called worst colors, I guess, if you could call them that. And sometimes she can look more gray, sometimes more yellow. It's a little bit unpredictable what can happen, but you can see how on the left it's really very unflattering, and on the right she really comes to life in this orange. And I think it's so interesting to see how bright that orange color really is that she's wearing on the right. If you just look at that color, it looks like a straight up orange to me, and she's wearing it as if it's practically a neutral. If I wore that orange, it would look like a statement color, and I would also be wearing a lot more foundation because I'm cool toned. So, also, I don't actually own anything orange because it looks so bad on me, and it looks so good on Oprah Winfrey. It looks amazing on her on the right there. That's amazing. That is a power move, by the way. If you are warm and bright, go in with that yellow, go in with that orange, and everyone will be like, wow, I can't believe she pulls that off. I could never pull off orange like Oprah Winfrey does. So that's what I would do. If I were warm and radiant, yellow head to toe, orange head to toe all the time, always making those power moves, right? But, you know, some people I think don't realize that orange is actually not going to look that bright on you. You see, it's like you may see that item on the hanger on the right, and you may be like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I want to wear orange. It's a really bright color. I don't really want to wear a bright color for whatever reason. I'm not in the mood or this or that. But you don't understand, when you put it on, it's not going to look that bright on you because you yourself are so bright, like Oprah Winfrey, for example, if you are warm and radiant. Okay, so now that I've sort of motivated the situation a little bit, then we can discuss the basics of color analysis. And so the first part of the basics was really just realizing that color can make a difference depending on your skin undertone and things like that. And now we're going to talk about the basics of color analysis, and the first most fundamental basic is cool versus warm. So you can see Alicia Keys here is cool toned, so there really isn't much warmth to her skin, and she looks amazing in cool and bright colors. Someone like Rihanna is warm toned, and I saw that one of you guys commented, if you watch my videos regularly, one of you guys commented that you think that she is cool toned. I don't think she's cool toned, and I'm hoping to have a video on her out soon. I think she is warm toned, so I'm giving her as an example of someone who is warm. And so you can see here that Zooey Deschanel on the bottom and Alicia Keys on the top are both cool toned, and they don't have much warmth to their skin. Not like Rihanna. You see how warm she looks? She really looks kind of almost golden. Sometimes warm undertones can also look peachy. So these two ladies, they don't have really any warmth to their skin. They don't look warm. They don't look yellow. They don't look golden. They don't look peachy. They look more rosy or more olive or more cool. And so you can see that they would look beautiful in these cool and bright colors. And then we have warm people who look warm. Oprah Winfrey, Hayden Panettiere, they are warm toned. And so that's kind of the basic thing, and the most important thing when it comes to color analysis is figuring out if you're cool or warm. And so once you figure out if you're cool or warm, you're like 80% of the way there to having much better fits for your colors. Even if you only figure that out in and of itself, which I actually have at the end of this video, a test where you can test if you're cool or warm and how you can do that. So you can stay tuned for that. But so these two ladies are warm, and I'm sure you can see the difference. I mean, look at how much more golden and warm their skin looks than these two ladies. So, and it has nothing to do with their features. It's not that Zooey Deschanel has blue eyes or anything like that. It's about the skin tone itself. In my case, and the way that I do it in an artistic license, I really focus on the skin tone, because I believe that when we focus on the skin tone, everything else comes into focus. Everything else just comes together when the skin tone is honored. And so even if you have warm eyes or something and a cool skin tone, you would still be way more flattered by cool colors to honor your skin tone. So anyway, these people look a lot warmer. And so next up we have bright versus muted. That's the next sort of dichotomy that will take you to the next level in terms of your color type and your color choices. And so you can see Zooey Deschanel is very bright, and she's very cool and bright, and her skin undertone almost has like this radiance to it, her skin itself. And Alexis Bledel is more soft, and her coloring is more soft. And so I've seen sometimes Alexis Bledel, she's often placed into bright colors by some color analysts. I passionately disagree about Alexis Bledel. I really think she is better suited by soft and cool colors, because her skin undertone is soft. And so you can really see the difference. And I've chosen representative photos. This is something to keep in mind, is that, sometimes I see people posting on Reddit or things like that, asking to get their skin undertone, like people's opinions on their skin undertone. And what you want to do is you want to post a lot of photos, usually in daylight, over the course of a few years. You don't want to just take photos on the same day, in the same lighting, everything the same. If you are going to get opinions, or if you're going to book a consult from me, that's something important to remember, is that your photos ought to be very representative of your skin tone, and you want to have a wide variety of photos. Around 20 or so is what I usually ask for. So all of this is to say, and of course there are photo instructions that are more detailed in the typing. If you end up deciding or happening to book, then there are more detailed instructions than what I just gave. But the point is that these two photos that I'm showing you of Alexis Bledel and Zooey Deschanel, they are, in my opinion, representative of what they look like after having looked at hundreds of photos of them. I made a video on them also called Comparing Two Clear Winters, if you're interested in the difference in their color types. But yeah, so some people are flattered by muted colors, and some people are flattered by bright colors. And Alexis Bledel, and it's really all about the skin tone itself. It's not about your features being dark or light, or your eyes being bright, or anything like that. Because you can see Alexis Bledel and Zooey Deschanel both have bright blue eyes, but Alexis is soft and cool and delicate. So this brings me to the 4 color families. So I found that the least confusing way to ever think about colors is to put them into 4 color families. And these 4 color families correspond to the 4 main categories that I use when I color type people. So I separate the skin tones into 4 categories, and that would be cool and radiant on the top left, warm and radiant on the top right, cool and delicate bottom left, warm and delicate bottom right. And these don't exactly correspond to the seasons. If you're familiar, of course, with the seasonal approach, there are 4 categories. They don't exactly always correspond to the seasons. They don't completely overlay directly, but they are closely related. As you can see, maybe cool and radiant is more winter type colors, cool and delicate is summer, warm and delicate is more like autumn, although not always, and warm and radiant is more like, it's a little bit like spring, but not exactly. So, but there are 4 color families, and the thing is that it makes it so much easier to think about color this way, because an orange and a peach, a bright peach, are kind of pretty much more or less similar. They're more or less the same. Someone who looks good in a really bright peach or a fire engine red is going to also look good in an orange. So when you have categories of color this way, you can know, okay, well, if I look good in yellow, I'm also going to look good in orange. And if I look good in navy blue, chances are I'm also going to look good in emerald green as well. So, and if I look good in, let's look at the bottom left, if I look good in cool burgundy, I'm also going to look good in muted navy. If you look good in cool burgundy, you will definitely look good in muted navy. So, and the same for warm and delicate. If I look good in peach, I'm also going to look good in cream. You know, and it makes it very easy and very straightforward, and you don't have to worry about, is this my peach, or is this my yellow, or is this my cream? From what I've found, and at this point, I knew this all along. I knew this from the start, because I know that I myself don't have a yellow. I don't have a yellow, and this idea that everybody has a yellow if you just find your own yellow has caused, in my opinion, a lot of confusion for a lot of people who are just looking to find their colors. And not everybody has a yellow. Not everybody has a blue, you know, that's really just gonna be their best color. It's like, definitely if you're cool toned, you don't have a yellow. You're not gonna look good in any yellows. I mean, do you have a yellow? Yes. Okay. You have a yellow in the sense that you have a yellow that's gonna look not as bad on you as all the other yellows, but it's still gonna look really bad. So I wouldn't recommend that you ever wear yellow at all. So there is that. So in my system, it's pretty simple and it's pretty straightforward. I don't really do like kind of splitting hairs about colors that much. And I think it makes it really easy and it makes it really simple. And I found it works really well for me. I've gotten really good feedback from my clients as far as I know. And it's been very easy, and it's been very nice to not have to worry about, what about this peach? But what about that peach? They're just peach. If you look good in peach, you're going to look good in the other peach too. You just look good in peach. Sometimes things are simple, and I really like it when things turn out to be simple. So yeah, I think I just made a video on this. I think I've had over 1,000 color consults at this point. I've worked with over 1,000 clients, and that's what I found. You know, it's really not that complicated. There are just these 4 color families. And of course, these are the 4 main color families. And then there are so many things that you can do to take your colors to the next level, you see, but this is a beginner video. There are other things. See, where am I going? Let me look at this. Warm versus cool. Okay, well, before I get into the warm versus cool test, this is a beginner video. So if you are a beginner and you're already, like, for some reason you feel like you've gotten enough information, then you can tune out this portion of the video. But I will talk about all of the other things that affect your color type. I'm not going to get into them, but I'll just talk about them, just so that you have a sense of the entire landscape of what could affect your color type. Yes, it's simple. Yes, it's easy to use in the sense that if you were to get color typed by me, you don't have to be sent samples of each color swatch in the mail and then go with each color swatch to the mall, as if anybody does that, and put each color swatch next to each item of clothing to make sure you have the right peach or the right blue or whatever. I don't really do that, but I do very much tailor color recommendations, of course, to each client in a very specific way. So there are things like features that will definitely affect your color recommendations. So if you have like softer features, you can sometimes, if you have like lush facial features, if you have full lips, if you have big eyes, round eyes, or soft cheeks, you may look good in brighter colors. If you have more angular features, you may look good in darker, more muted colors. There's just so much to color, and at the same, it's sort of like it can be very simple at the beginner level, and then you can build on it and really build your color palette in a very customized way, in a systematic way. So that's sort of what I do through my consults. So another thing that can affect your color recommendations is, of course, if you are olive or rosy in tone. So that's a whole other thing, and it's certainly not the biggest factor, but it is one of those things that, just like the features being soft or angular, you know, it can really take your color choices to the next level, and it can really be a source of validation as well, in terms of like, oh, now I get it, why this doesn't work or that doesn't work or whatever. And I have videos on all of these topics on my channel as well. So you can take a look around and you can find, I mean, I've done so much, I've given out so much information on this channel. So if you want to dig deeper, then you can definitely take a look around. Yeah, so okay, so now let's move on to the warm versus cool test. Now, I've talked about this, I've given a lot of other examples too in my video on how to find your color type, I think it is, and it's like around 5 or 7 minutes long. It's from a few years ago, so if you're interested in seeing more examples than what I'm going to show in this video, then you can look at that video too. So the warm versus cool test, this is how I would do it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to test orange versus magenta. Now, just like I went on and on about, you don't have to get a specific orange and you don't have to get a specific magenta. You just get an orange and a magenta or a fuchsia, just anything that appears to be kind of magenta, anything that appears to be orange. And if the orange looks better on you, if it's more flattering, then you are warm. And if the magenta looks better on you, then you are cool. And that's it. That's how you find out if you're cool or warm. You can also do this with lipsticks. It's just that you're probably less likely to have an orange and a magenta lipstick on hand. But if you do, without makeup on, without foundation on, just try the orange versus the magenta and see which one kind of blends with your coloration more, blends with your skin tone more. And so that will tell you if you're warm or cool. It's really that easy. Now, if you can't tell, we can move on to step 2. But if you can tell, do not move on to step 2, because that will be confusing and frustrating. Because if you find that orange definitely looks better on you, or magenta definitely looks better on you, you already have your answer and you should not move on to step 2. So here's Lauren Graham looking wonderful in something close enough to magenta. You know, this is what I would call close, and she's going to look amazing in magenta too. You can look up images of her. That's the thing, is that, you know, again, it's not terribly complicated. If you look good in hot pink, you probably look good in magenta as well. So it's pretty much like that. And she looks beautiful here, and she's very cool. She's cool and bright, cool and radiant. And of course, Oprah Winfrey looking amazing in orange, as if it's like practically a neutral color, but it's actually a very bright orange. So, and just as a reminder, what are you looking for? You're looking for, when you test the orange versus the magenta, you're looking for how your skin looks. So you're looking for if the eye is drawn away from the face and toward the color itself. If you look away and look back, like let's say you take your orange t-shirt or something, you just put it over yourself in front of maybe like some daylight. Ideally this would be in daylight. You stand in front of a mirror without any makeup on, and you just put this orange fabric or t-shirt or whatever just over yourself. And if you look away and you look back, if you look away and you look back at the mirror, if the orange is your color, then you're going to immediately look at your eyes. If you look away and look back and the orange is not your color, you are going to be lost. You're going to be looking at the orange. You're not going to know where to look. So that's one way to kind of tell. That may help you. If that helps you, try that out. The other most obvious thing, of course, is to see what is more flattering. So in the colors that are harmonious with your undertone, that flatter your undertone, you are going to look more even-toned, more bright. The whites of your eyes are going to look brighter. Your teeth are going to look brighter. And your eyes are going to come into focus as well. And so that's what you're looking for when you're testing magenta versus orange. So which color does that for you? And if you can't quite tell, then you are probably warm and delicate. I can already tell you're warm and delicate, but you can confirm this for yourself. So if you can't tell, you can test soft peach versus soft pink. Now again, do not do this if you already got your answer from step 1. Because it's going to get too confusing. You may get conflicting results. So this is only if you could not tell from step 1. I already know, again, you're warm and delicate, but you can compare to yourself. So if soft peach is more flattering in the way that I just discussed, then you're warm. And if soft pink is more flattering, then you are cool. And most likely you're going to find that soft peach is more flattering. So here's an example of soft peach, and Kate Blanchett is warm and delicate. So she's very close to neutral. She often gets placed into cool. I place her into warm because I've come up with the additional category of warm and delicate in a way. It is kind of, it's an additional category in a way, although the darker versions of it are more like soft autumn colors, but the lighter versions of it are an additional color category that doesn't really exist in the same way in a lot of other systems. So yeah, so she's warm and delicate. I would place her slightly warm so she looks like the peach really melts into her skin. And now Rihanna is also warm and delicate, like I may have reviewed in this video, I don't remember, but she's warm and delicate, and you can see how that cool pink of the fur kind of sits on top of her skin, although this is pretty artificial lighting. So you want to just kind of keep in mind that you want to keep the lighting as natural as possible. You want to go in front of a window, maybe on an overcast day, and that would be the ideal lighting to test the colors. Okay, so let me know your results to the test. Let me know if the test was useful or helpful, or if your results kind of confirmed what you were thinking or not. And of course, let me know your thoughts as usual. And I will leave a link to my consults I'll leave a link below in the description to all of my consults and everything, and how you can go ahead and book if you are interested. And if you're completely new and you don't know what's going on, you can definitely feel free to look around my channel and learn more about artistic license, and see if you can have fun trying to find your color type. And if you're still confused, of course, you're more than welcome to book a consult. You don't need to have really any background knowledge to book a typing with me or to understand the color typing. And oh, the other thing is that the full report is like everything. So it's color typing and body typing and essence and everything in between. And so that will give you like a full assessment of like your silhouette, your features, your colors, and your essence, how you come across, things like that. And then of course the color analysis is, the color typing is exactly what it sounds like your best colors, and the body typing is exactly what it sounds like. It's like your best, your most effortless silhouettes and lines and style elements. So I'll leave a link to all of that down below, and leave me a comment, please. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.